Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, my Biafran people, how on a day? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency, Nnamdi Kanu'S. May God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency, EKPA, Simon and Joko, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you. We appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra is coming. In your hands Biafra is safe. And in your hands, when Biafra comes, the people of Biafra will rejoice. My fellow Biafrans, I want you to watch this. Now the Zoom media, they are understanding. Now the Biafrans who believe in Nigeria, they are now understanding that there is two laws going on in Nigeria. One for those Nigerians that love Nigeria, and the other for the Biafrans. Either you are a Biafran, or either you are a Biafran that still love Nigeria. As the saying goes, their intention is to turn Biafra land into what is happening in Palestine. The intention of the Nigerian government, the Fulani cabal, by sending their military to Biafra land, is to turn Biafra land into Palestine, to make us become the beggars of the land. But on the same vein, you see them going to Saudi Arabia. You see the president of Nigeria going to Saudi Arabia to advocate for a two-state solution between Palestine and Israel. But when you come back home, they are trying to turn Biafra land into Palestine, where we have no voice, where we become slaves in our own land, and where there is no rule of law. Only what you get is military checkpoints in every 100 meters. That's their plan. Now today, this man you are seeing here, Honorable Obi Agwacha, he is the one representing Nnamdi Kanu'S from where our leader was born. He is a senator. I want you to hear what he will say about these two different laws that has been applying in Nigeria. I keep telling you guys, there is rule of law in Nigeria. The only people that will not get it are the Biafrans. If you're ready, let's go there. If you're ready, let's go there. Check it out.
Now, amid increasing worry across Nigeria about the fate of the separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu, one man who's worked tirelessly to help secure his freedom would have to be Honorable Obi Agwacha, who is a member of the House of Representatives. He's done everything possible to help Mr. Kanu regain his freedom, from rallying dozens of politically middle-of-the-road federal lawmakers across party and ethnic lines, to writing to President Tinubu and calling for Mr. Kanu's urgent release. And now, after yet another intervention by him, Mr. Kanu's legal team have conducted their first successful visitation with their clients in September. That small victory captures the difficulties faced by both Mr. Agwacha and Nnamdi Kanu's legal team in trying to create a pathway to Mr. Kanu's freedom, even as many across Nigeria express dismay, incomprehension, and anger at his continued incarceration.
Hold it there first. Ordinary to visit now is a victory. Ordinary to visit a man that you say is innocent until proven guilty. Ordinary to visit our leader is now a victory. Last time they saw him was on the 27th of September. We are now in November. The legal team representing Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria has not had the opportunity to see their client. And you tell me that we, the Biafrans, we should believe in your Nigeria? May God punish you and your motherfucking Nigeria. Anybody that comes to us and tell us that we are the problems, may God punish you, your children, and your whole generation. We are living that zoo, whether the devil likes it or not. They want to turn the Biafrans to Palestinians, where we have no say anymore. We become slaves in our own land. That now we are thanking God that after almost 2 months, the legal team now have access to Nnamdi Kanu. That's what they want to turn us to. We told you guys this is coming. This war is inevitable because the hatred is now too much. The zoo cannot hide it anymore. Tinubu is not the one ruling Nigeria. They will not release Nnamdi Kanu. Mark my word. Which is why our prime minister said, the only way we will get Nnamdi Kanu freed is through a prisoner exchange. Is through a prisoner exchange. When this thing starts, Nigeria now, you are thanking God that you've gotten the best from Biafra. But one day, God will help us to lay hand on your so-called kings and queens from that zoo called Nigeria. And that's when we'll have to do a prisoner exchange. Because I don't see where somebody in a rule of law, for how many months, the legal team in that zoo cannot even access their client. Only in Nigeria will that happen. Only in Nigeria. Which is why I said, we are going. This same zoo, they are asking for a two-state solution between Palestine and Israel. They are advocating for a two-state solution between Palestine and Israel. But when it comes to the Biafrans, they will tell you, they even told Barack Obama, there is a saying in Nigeria that to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. You see me? I hate that zoo called Nigeria with a passion. Nothing in this world will make me have any affinity with that zoo called Nigeria. And when Biafra comes, we shall build a wall between us and the cabal. A wall will be built. The borders of Biafra will be a very tall wall. Because it's with their devils. They are worse than Lucifer himself. I digress. Let's continue. Listen.
Small victory captures the difficulties faced by both Mr. Agwocha and Nnamdi Kanu's legal team in trying to create a pathway to Mr. Kanu's freedom, even as many across Nigeria express dismay, incomprehension, and anger at his continued incarceration. So, amid all the upset, where do things stand at the moment in that campaign, as a stony-faced government continues to rebuff all entreaties to set the captive free? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the member of the National Assembly representing the Ikwana Umuahia Federal Constituency, Honorable Obi Agwocha. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, Charles. I'm happy to be back here again.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, Sam.
This is a small victory, isn't it? But it is certainly a victory of sorts. Getting Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, who haven't visited him since September. To gain access to him. And they issued a statement thanking you and commending you for your effort in that regard. How did you pull it off?
Well, easily. The lawyers approached me sometime in September, not just as somebody who is at the forefront of the advocacy, but also as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's representative at the Federal House. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is from Umuahia North. I'm also from Umuahia North. We grew up together. We played soccer in Umuahia. So he's somebody well known. Both families are well known to each other. So it is my utmost responsibility as a Federal House member representing him to speak for him where no one else would speak for him. Not just for him, but for many others in that gap who may be facing one challenge or the other, especially in the administration of criminal justice as it pertains to Nigeria. So I've been speaking about him. We've started to make some headway. Previously, he was very combative between the government's approach and, of course, Nnamdi Kanu'S legal team's approach. So they approached me to say, well, for over a period of time, they've not had access to him. So I wrote to the director of DSS. He responded. Rather than escalate it in the chamber of the House of Representatives, I chose to involve my speaker. And we had a tripartite meeting between myself, the speaker, and the DG SSS, and we resolved some of the issues, pending when the lawyers will come together, because the matter is still in court. The judge handling the matter was also involved in the process, but yesterday was the first time that the lawyers were given access to him at the directive of the DGSSS, whom I commend him tremendously. He has come to this position, a very difficult position, in handling a very sensitive issue. But he has come in this position also being mindful that the issue at hand is a very sensitive issue, and he's putting a human face.
Well, forgive me if I beg to differ.
Exactly.
But, I mean, this is a democratic country. And in a democracy,
my God,
somebody has the right to a legal defense team.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying here. In a learned world, I don't know, even if you take the life of somebody, you still have the right to a legal team. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty. You are assumed innocent. They presume you that you are innocent until proven guilty. It is clear Nigeria is not a sane country. Nigeria is not running a democratic system, and Britain has refused to speak on this. Britain, oh Britain, a man that traveled to Kenya with a British passport. To the Biafrans living in Britain, I gave you an assignment. Go to all your members of parliament, your MPs, they call them the MPs in Britain, I believe. Go to them and lay this case on their desk. They will come to solicit for your votes. Lay this on their desk that as a black British, you are not safe if you travel abroad, because this happened to a black British, a Biafran who is a black British. He went to Kenya on holiday, and the Nigerian zoo dirty government, the criminal government, the cabal government, they went to Kenya to kidnap him since 2021, since June 2021. So if your MPs are soliciting your votes, they must come in the public and request the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. This is a simple thing. I don't know why you Biafrans in Britain, you are scared to speak out. I'm only speaking to those that have their document. If you are British, or if you have your permanent residency in Britain, then I implore you to go and speak. Write to your MPs, email them. They have their emails there. They will respond back to you. You guys shouldn't be scared. I know Nigeria has planted the DNA of fear in your hearts. You are scared of those in authority because over time, the Nigerian culture has placed fear in your heart. All you have to do is email them, write to them. If you don't know what to write, you tell me. I will give you a format. Write to your MP. Explain to them that you cannot vote for them. They should not come for your vote until they explain why a black British since 2021 was kidnapped in Kenya and it has not been discussed in the House of Parliament. What's going on? Oh my God. You guys sometimes just, you disgust me, man. You disgust me. If you all you do is pray to Jesus to get freedom from Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria is not a democratic country. Nigeria is a banana republic. It is a criminal enterprise. It is a contraption created by Britain. And the best way to shame Britain is to go in their local policy there. Go to their parliament and tell them your foreign policy. This is what you are doing to the blacks, the black British, when they go on holiday and an African country, a third world country like Nigeria, a criminal country like Nigeria kidnaps somebody and you have refused to speak about it. It means you've got your hands in it as well. You are being complicit. Britain, your hands are soiled in the kidnap of your citizens. If not, how come a black British on holiday, he went on holiday to Kenya, and the Nigerian zoo government, a government from a third world country, a shithole country, kidnapped a black British? Until this day, Britain has said nothing about it. You guys, you disgust me, man. Eh? Simple things to deal with. You are all scared. I don't blame you. The virus of Nigeria is still affecting you all. Because by now, your MP should be speaking out. You tell them, when you speak out, you have gotten my vote. All you need to do is speak out for Nnamdi Kanu. You have gotten my vote. As easy as that. You guys sometimes, man, you're just backward. Please, let's continue. Listen, please.
It's a very sensitive issue, and he's putting a human face.
Well, forgive me if I beg to differ.
Okay.
But, I mean, this is a democratic country. And in a democracy, somebody has the right to a legal defense team.
Of course.
In whatever circumstance
Well, I
they
thought as
find
much too.
themselves
I
in.
thought as much too.
So for all this sort of thank you and so on and so forth, I don't understand. This is legal right, isn't it?
Hold it there, Mr. Charles, not in Nigeria, with all due respect, because Nigeria is a criminal enterprise. The case of Nnamdi Kanu has just shown you that there are two rules, two laws. There is rule of law for those that call themselves Nigerians, and there's a second law for the Biafrans. Case in point, when the EFCC are going all out to catch somebody, the governors, you see the way they act. The governors from the Biafra side, they can get them in real time. Okowa was picked up. Very easy. But the ex-governor, Bello, from Kokogi till this day, he's still chilling, going to the gym, having a nice time. They are begging him. EFCC is begging him to surrender himself. But you saw what they did in Biafra land. Almost all the governors, they come with the iron fist. They break down their roofs from the houses. They come in like Rambo. Two different laws. Most of you in Nigeria will not understand this. You say blame the Igbo, blame the Igbos. The Igbos are the problem. You don't see what we see. Even the Boko Haram that cuts neck of people, that chop heads off. Boko Haram, the headsmen, they say, oh, they are born again now. They have repented. They are born again. Release them and make sure you can, blend them into your military, into your police, into your customs, into your navy. Two different laws. Let's continue. Listen, please.
Of course.
In whatever circumstance
Well, I
they
thought as
find
much too.
themselves
I
in.
thought as much too.
So for all this sort of thank you and so on and so forth, I don't understand. This is legal right, isn't it?
The legal issues, like I said in my earlier statement, that are well known to both parties, it stemmed from the Nnamdi Kanu'S legal team requesting for a recusal of the judge. So the judge, recused herself. So the position of the DSS or the position of the government now becomes, well, since the judge has recused herself from the matter, there are no longer issues of consultation between the lawyers and Nnamdi Kanu.
Well, that's perverse.
However,
Hey!
even some of the applications that were made in court were withdrawn, because the same question would have been asked. Well, if the same judge has recused himself and all the decisions of the judge, as the government had claimed, was a nullity, then the same judge was the one that gave the detention order for Nnamdi Kanu. So that ought to have rendered that also as a nullity. Null and void.
But even beyond that, I mean, it doesn't matter what the circumstances
My God.
are. It is his
a fundamental
it
right.
is his legal right,
Right, yes.
to ask for a judge to be recused if he feels that he's not getting
fair
the right
trials.
treatment.
Not in Nigeria, Mr. Charles. Not in Nigeria. It doesn't go for the Biafrans. He has no legal right. He has no legal right in Nigeria, Mr. Charles. I need you to understand this. Only in Nigeria will you see the elephants fly. Everybody else can do it. Every other tribe can do it. But when the Biafrans try to, express their legal right, it becomes a problem. This is why we say we cannot be in Nigeria. We cannot remain in Nigeria, for crying out loud. We can't. Look, remaining there makes you a slave. We cannot become slaves in our own land. Biafra is our land. We have our own throne, our own home, our own country, our own government. Before the coming of Britain, Britain brought this nonsense upon us. Britain brought this thing upon us. The foreign policy of Britain is always the problem. Britain has left us in the hands of foreigners. Those that hate us with a passion, they hate Biafrans with a passion, and Britain told them they were born to rule. That's what we are saying here. That's why we are doing what we are doing, that we are done with this thing called Nigeria. We have divorced ourselves from Nigeria, and come what may, from 2nd of December, all die in a die. I would rather die and believe in something that will set my people free than to live like a coward for 1,000 years. I would rather die fighting for my people than live in a contraption as a second fiddle, as a coward, as a slave. That in their so-called election, they will say the Igbos must not vote a candidate of their choice. The Igbos have no choice. Even in your election, the Igbos have no choice. Only a slave have no choice. According to the books, a slave has no choice. So they have now likened the Igbos. They have now relegated the Igbos, the Biafrans, to slaves in Nigeria. Well, if the old men that call themselves the politicians, if they say yes to that, we the Biafrans, we the youths of Biafra, we are saying no, not on our watch. We are the new breed. We are coming to say no. We shall live as Look, we must be liberated in our land. We refuse to be slaves. We refuse to be slaves in the 21st century. We refuse to be slaves. We are going home. This is why we need Biafra, in a place where rule of law exists. Oh, I can go on and on, my God. Hey, let's continue, I beg. Let's just continue, please. Continue.
The detention order for Nnamdi Kanu'S. So that ought to have rendered that also as a nullity.
Void. But even beyond that, I mean, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It is his
fundamental right.
It is his legal right to ask for a judge to be recused.
Not in Nigeria.
If he feels that he's not getting
fair
right treatment. That does not preclude. It's got nothing to do with his right to have access to his lawyers.
I perfectly agree with you. That was the position we took. That was the position even in the meeting between myself, the speaker, and the DGSS. I took that position. Mr. Speaker concurred with that position. Even the DG concurred. Now, while I was saying thank you, the DG could have easily come to that meeting and feign ignorance of the law and say, no, well, let's status quo remain. Let's keep, going at each other. They will release one press statement. The Kanu lawyers will release one press statement. But he recognizes the position of the law and set aside the office of DSS, who could have come in as a cowboy. But he now said, no, I want things to be done properly. He gave the room to allow myself, the speaker, the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu'S to be engaged in this, finding a solution that will enable both sides at least to begin to talk and have access to Nnamdi Kanu'S. It's not just that. There were issues as well concerning the health of Nnamdi Kanu'S. It was rumored that he was dead. It was rumored that he was ill, which I also asked the DG. The DG, for the first time, they've never had it before, allowed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to choose a doctor of his own choice, and at the same time allowed him to also to choose a medical facility beyond the government medical facilities for his treatment. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has exercised that privilege, and will continue as well to.
So he's now gone to the hospital.
Oh yeah, he's gone. The last time he went was, I think, October the 3rd.
Right.
And he confirmed it to me because part of my effort was also to see him, to discuss with him, to know his thought process as to everything that is going around, and also to brief him and to make him understand the circumstances around. And then he assured me that he's comfortable with the doctor that he chose. He's comfortable with the medical facility that he chose as well to go to. So on issues of access and issues of management of his health, I can say that this current DG of SSS has been very cordial, has been very respectful.
Much more so than in the past. Right.
Much more than in the past. That was why I said he has shown a human face.
But in the larger scheme of things, how much does it move the needle forward in terms of getting Mr. Kanu closer to breathing the air of freedom?
Just, I can tell you, a whole lot of things have been done, not just by me, but well-meaning Nigerians, stakeholders, who have found this to be an issue of injustice, who has also found this to appear, like the last time I was there, I said it would appear that there are two sets of rules in Nigeria, one for every other Nigerian and another one for the Igbo man. Where every other Nigerian will scale certain circumstances, the Igbo man will find it very difficult to scale. But that what we thought would have been more meaningful is the invocation of sections 174 of the Nigerian Constitution that allows the Attorney General, before the determination or a judgment of the court, that he can write to withdraw the matter. There are precedents that have already been set on this. So we're just asking, well, the way they have done for Igbo, the way they have done for Sawori and many others, that Nnamdi Kanu is entitled to those fundamental rights as a citizen.
Well, you mentioned Section 174 of the Nigerian Constitution. I recall that in June, you made a direct appeal to President Tinubu, along with dozens of your colleagues at the National Assembly, urging him to order the Attorney General to discontinue the case based on that Section 174, which gives him the power to end the trial in the public interest and in the interest of justice. Did you ever hear back from the President or the Attorney General?
Like I said, we've met with the Attorney General. I've met with him several times. I've met with his Chief of Staff of Mr. President and many other government functionaries. The only person I have not met one-on-one now is Mr. President. And for obvious reasons. He has to be satisfied with the legal position and also satisfied with the security positions. So I wish to talk so much, but so much has been happening now. The confidentiality of that is also what I said as a government officer.
You can't reveal.
That I can't reveal, I can't. But I am very optimistic that after all said and done, recently my amiable governor, Dr. Alex Oti, also talked about it, having met Mr. President, and some assurances that were given to my governor by Mr. President. Those assurances that have been given to my governor remain consistent with the assurances also that I have been given and the things that I have worked with certain circle that have been put up for this. And I'm very optimistic that within no short distance time, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be released from detention. Whether he's going to be released by the invocation of Section 174 or whether he's going to be granted bail, the Supreme Court, after all, said that the lower court ought not to have revoked his bail, considering the circumstances that he faced before he absconded. Meaning the military came to his home, ransacked his home, and he escaped.
Say the right way, sir. Say the right way. They came with the aim to take his life. In the process, 28 men lost their life, including his dog, his pet, Jack. Say the way it is. Let him know that the only reason why he escaped was some of his followers. They acted as a human shield to protect Nnamdi Kanu while he scaled the fence. And in the process of them protecting him, those ones, they also lost their life. He was the only one who was able to scale through the fence unscathed. Say it the way it is, sir. Don't make it sound like, oh, they just came there with an arrest warrant and they were knocking on his door. Hello, Mr. Kanu, are you inside? This is the government. No, say it the way it is. They came to take his life. They came to take him out. Say it the way it is. Let the whole world know. Don't be scared to speak out. Eh? Say it the way it is, for crying out loud. And this your so-called, your promise, oh, we've heard, they'll release him, the assurance. I've told you, sir, with all due respect, this is 3 years and counting. The so-called court, the cases that they said our leader has, how many months now, how many years? If they really had a case on him, when they kidnapped him from Kenya, that same week, they would have tried him out. That same week, they would have tried him. And if he's guilty, they find him guilty. But they have nothing on him. Their intention is to hold him there. Because they assumed in the calculations that holding him there means the end of Biafra. Well, I've got news for that zoo called Nigeria. That was your biggest mistake. The biggest mistake of the caliphate is to assume that holding Nnamdi Kanu, going to Kenya to kidnap him, means the end of Biafra. I've got news for you. Nnamdi Kanu is just one man. He is not the end all or be all of Biafra. He's not the alpha and omega of Biafra. He's just one man, sent by the people to represent us. And today we have in him His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Mazi EKPA Simon Njoko, a man loved by the people, a man that whatever he says, the people they listen to, a man that shows no weakness, a man that is heartless to that zoo called Nigeria, a man that understands the language that deserves, that zoo they deserve, a man that understands the language of the caliphate, and will speak to the zoo cabal, the Fulani cabal, in a language they will never understand. I hate that zoo with a passion. And when Biafra comes, I swear by God, my Prime Minister, we must erect a wall between us, because I don't want to even see the air or the cloud coming from that zone. Because these guys, they hate us with a passion. They hate the Biafrans with a passion. So all this begging, talking soft, it is not in us. We are the new breed. We are the new seed of Biafra. And the days of being coward slaves are gone. Man, you guys, you are so lucky. You see me, I am heartless. I am worse than the devil. I will show you more evil than the devil. I will bring havoc to that zoo called Nigeria, if given the chance. You bastards. Animals from a third world zoo country. You went all the way to Kenya to kidnap somebody on holiday. You went to Kenya to kidnap somebody on holiday. Since the month of June 2021 till this day, you have not been able to try him. You have kept him in solitary confinement. And you expect us, the enlightened ones, to be clapping our hands for you. I've lost all respect for Nigeria. And I thank God. I thank God we now have a Prime Minister who understands the memo. We now have a Prime Minister loved by the people. A Prime Minister who has the ears of America. For the first time, the Biafrans now have the ears of America. We are now closer to Washington. Oh my God. We are closer to the White House. We have those in Congress. We have one of the mavericks of the American Congress, the man known as Jim Moran. He was in the Congress while I was a baby. During those days, I was watching my CNN and I see how outspoken Jim Moran was. He was respected during those days. He spent 25 years, a quarter of a century in the American Congress. And thank God, he is somebody that our Prime Minister saw deemed fit to have as our lobbyist. I thank God for that. During his heydays, you will see him and I think his name is John McCain. They will be arguing intellectually. They were the two biggest, guys then in the Congress. I used to watch him on TV, on CNN. And I thank God today of all day, that same man is now the one who is now helping the Biafran government to lobby with America. Because as you all know, as America goes, so does the whole world. But if America sneezes, the world catch cold. So we have done the right thing for the first time by anchoring our freedom in our partnership with America for the first time. And I thank God it's going well. So please, miss me with all this begging. The days of begging are over. You are begging dirty, old, stinking men that you call politicians in that zoo. Men that should be in their care home, wearing their pampers. Dirty, stinking looking men. You are begging them. Old men. No, this war will continue. We shall fight this war until Biafra comes. You bunch of animals. Man, that zoo, you guys disgust me with a passion, man. Fiakwa. Animals. Bunch of animals. Eh? Oh, good heavens, have mercy, Lord, have mercy, my God. Let's just continue and wrap this one up, please.
Was there, he would have been shot dead, just like many others. The Supreme Court held that.
Say the way it is. Say the way it is.
Circumstances that he faced before he absconded, meaning the military came to his home, ransacked his home, and he escaped. Possibly, if he was there, he would have been shot dead, just like many others.
He was there, and they tried to kill him, but those that they killed in the process, they acted as a human shield for our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Say it the way it is, for crying out loud. Don't say if he was there, he would have been shot dead. He was there in his home. They came to ambush him. The only reason why he's alive today is those that love him. They use themselves as a human shield, to protect our leader while he scaled the fence. The bullets were coming. The bullets were piercing through their body. But he said, not tonight. Our leader will not die, because in him is Biafra and our liberation. Say the way it is. Let Nigeria understand what their government did in Biafra land. At least there was a mini event of what happened in the home of Chief Sunday Igboho. You saw exactly what they did. They came to Igboho's and they say, come outside, oh, Igboho, come outside, oh. Then they went in and they killed 2 men in his home. Say the way it is. Don't come here and make it sound sweet or palate. Say the way it is, man. Oh my God. I'm really pissed off now.
The Supreme Court held that under the circumstances, his actions of running away was justifiable. That's what the Supreme Court said. So that since they have already said that he cannot be denied bail, it is also our desire that if bail can be granted to him, I am willing, able to countersign that bail so that he can have the ability to leave detention, at least to be able to take care of himself, see his family, and undertake other activities that such a person should.
And in terms of the case against him, the last we heard he was
talking about bail when this man has no case to answer. This kind of cowardice is the problem I have with these so-called politicians from Biafra land. A man has no case to answer. You are here saying, please, what about bail? I am happy to be a shorty. He has no case to answer, for crying out loud. Ah, my God. No. This is why we want out. This is why we want out of Nigeria. Even when a Biafran has no case to answer, he's already begging for bail. Please, just bail. Eh? Even the so-called governors from Biafra land, when they have no case to answer, your EFCC will not waste time to whisk them away. Whisk them away, lock them up. Eh? You see what they did to all the so-called Southeast governors. Rochaso, Obiano, Okowana as well. I heard, they put him like a rabbit out of the hole. Eh? But Yaya Bello, the one that you knew, you saw him, he stole as much as he could. Till this day, they are begging him, please now, come for interview now. Please, come, please. Please now, come to us. And when he came to you, you say, oh no, he came with the governor, he was at the car park. We could not, no, we don't want him that way now. To the Nigerians out there that blame us for what we are doing, look at the mirror, please. Look at the mirror. Look at the mirror. Stop calling, it's like a pot calling the kettle black. Look at the mirror. See what we are going through in your so-called one Nigeria. Look at what the Biafrans are going through. Look at what your zoo they are putting us through. This is why we want out. We don't want to be slaves. Or will you feel good that a particular tribe are treated like slaves in the 21st century? Some of you that live abroad in the land of the white man, even with your skin alone, you being black alone, they could easily identify you and treat you bad. But they said no. In America, they believe in equality and the rule of law. The Equality Act of 2010 was put in place to protect people like you in the Western world. But you are there enjoying the best of life. Some of you are in America, Canada, Australia, Germany, UK, France. Eh? You are enjoying the best of life, but you are pointing at the Igbos. The Igbo must go. Kill them. Kill the Igbos. Steal their properties. Break their business down. But you are living in a country where you are enjoying the best of life. A place where there is liberty, rule of law. Rule of law, but let me break it down for you guys. You keep on saying rule of law, rule of law, rule of law. Rule of law means a place where the law rules. Rule of law means a place where the law rules. It is the law that rules. The law. And the person who is interpreting that law is blind. The person who is making the law is blind. The person who is executing the law is blind. During those days, in the days of the guillotine where they chop heads off, the executioner wears a hood over his head to show you, say, there is nothing like face, so I don't know anybody. I'm only here to do a job. That might be his uncle, his in-law, that's about to face that execution. But you will see no emotion from that killer's face, the executioner's face, because he's putting on a hood. Show no emotion. In a country where there is rule of law, the law rules. In such a country, when somebody says, I want a judge to be recused, they will not turn around and punish that person. They will not go all the way to Kenya to kidnap somebody, bring him to Nigeria, and till this day, he's got no case to answer, but they've refused to release him. It's not done that way. Only in Nigeria will elephant fly. As our Prime Minister used to say, only in Nigeria will elephant fly. So to those out there, keep on blaming, or you envy the Igbos, you hate the Igbos, you say we are the problem. Look into the mirror and judge yourself. Look in the mirror and judge yourself. Understand. This is the reason why we are saying we are done with Nigeria. We are going home. We want to be treated like human beings. We want to live like human beings. We are tired of being subjugated. Okwama, you saw what happened in Okwama? That some few hoodlums, they took out some military men. Then the whole of the community had to pay the price. They burnt down the whole of the community. But when you go to the north, the same thing happened. Something similar happened in Niger State. The people were safe. Every day, headsmen are buying people, no problem. Boko Haram are buying in the north, no problem. But in Biafra land, when something happens, everybody has to pay the price, the ultimate price of losing their life in the process. We are saying never again, which is why we, the Biafrans, we are going home. And by God's grace, from the 2nd of December will be the beginning of the restoration of Biafra. My people, I'll leave it here. I will leave it here. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. From me, from here, for now, I just want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra, Superstars Media. God bless you.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's wild flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.